Scarlett stood in the middle of the university campus, where California sunlight filtered through the lush green trees, creating magical patches of light and shadow on the ground. Today was an ordinary day, but inside her, a storm was silently forming. Everything around seemed to continue as usual: the laughter of students, the fragrant aroma of coffee from the nearby cafe, and the sound of a basketball bouncing on the ground in the sports yard. But Scarlett could not enjoy any of it. She raised her hand to shield her eyes from the sun. Her bright blue eyes focused on the main building, where sweet and painful memories intertwined. Just a few months ago, she was a happy girl, in love and full of hope. But now, her heart felt like it was being torn apart by Hunter's betrayal, the one she had trusted more than anyone else. "Scarlett." A familiar voice rang out from behind. It was Vivian, her roommate, with a worried expression. "Are you okay? I've seen you standing here for a long time." "It's just, I'm thinking a bit," Scarlett replied, trying to force a smile but unable to hide the restlessness in her eyes. Vivian raised her eyebrows, skeptical. "You know, I don't like when you hide things. Something happened with Hunter, didn't it?" Vivian's question felt like a punch to the gut, making Scarlett suddenly feel breathless. She could not speak the truth, could not reveal that Hunter had deceived her, had taken her money and trust like a nighttime thief. But a part of her longed to be free from this burden. I just need time to think," Scarlett said, trying to keep her voice calm. But inside, an uneasy feeling surged. She felt as though a shadow was lurking, waiting to reveal the secrets she had tried to bury. "Time cannot solve everything, Scarlett. You need to face the truth," Vivian said, her gaze firm. "If not, you will never escape his shadow." Scarlett sighed, looking into the distance. Everything seemed to be spinning. She knew Vivian was right. But facing the truth was a challenge she didn't know if she had the strength to overcome. The beautiful memories of Hunter still lingered in her mind, but now they were tainted with darkness. "Do you remember the first time I met Hunter?" Scarlett asked, her voice a bit dreamy. "Of course. He made you smile like a flower. But now..." Vivian hesitated, not finishing her thought. "Now everything is different," Scarlett interjected, her tone turning bitter. "I can't believe he did those things." Vivian moved closer, placing her hand on Scarlett's shoulder. "You are not alone. I will always be by your side, no matter what happens." A wave of warmth flooded Scarlett's heart. She knew she could rely on Vivian, but the question still haunted her. Does anyone else know the truth about Hunter? She couldn't stop thinking about other students that Hunter might have deceived. Were they suffering through what she had experienced? As the sunlight began to fade, the campus grew darker, and Scarlett felt an inexplicable thrill. She decided it was time to take action. She couldn't let Hunter continue to deceive and manipulate her life as well as others. "I won't let him get away," Scarlett whispered, her eyes blazing. "I will find out the truth." Her steps became more determined as she headed toward the main building, where all the secrets awaited revelation. Inside her, a flame of determination was burning. Scarlett knew that this fight was not just to protect herself, but also to protect others. She would not stand by any longer. And so, the journey in search of truth and justice began, with unexpected twists and challenges awaiting ahead. Scarlett not only had to face Hunter but also had to struggle with the ghosts of the past, the damaged relationships, and an uncertain future. But one thing she knew for sure: she would not give up. Scarlett stood in front of the main building, where beautiful and painful memories intertwined. She took a deep breath, trying to dispel the worries that were swelling in her heart. Each step she took felt like an important decision, and she knew there was no turning back. "Do you really think you can do this on your own?" Vivian stood next to her, her voice full of concern. "Hunter is not an easy person to deal with. He has influence and many people support him. But I can't let him continue to deceive everyone, Scarlett replied, her gaze resolute. I have to find out the truth. Vivian sighed, looking uncertain. I just want you to be careful. If he knows you're investigating, he won't hesitate to hurt you. Scarlett nodded, but inside her, a strong feeling was pushing her forward. She couldn't let fear dictate her life. I will not give up. I need to find out what he has done. She decided to start with Hunter's old friends. Maybe they knew something she didn't. Scarlett quickly planned to meet a few of them. And soon after, she had an appointment with Alex, one of Hunter's closest friends. Alex sat in a cafe near the school, the warm yellow light from the decorative lamps creating an intimate atmosphere. But Scarlett felt as if the air around her was heavy. She wasn't sure if Alex was ready to talk about Hunter. When are you finally going to call me? Alex spoke up. A smile on his lips, but a hint of shyness in his eyes. I've been worried about you. I can't talk to you about that at school, Scarlett replied, trying to keep her voice calm. I need to know about Hunter. Do you know what he's done? Alex frowned, his expression turning serious. I don't want to get involved in this. You know, Hunter is a good guy. He can be a bit difficult, but it's nothing serious. Nothing serious? Scarlett couldn't contain the anger in her voice. He's been lying to me, and I'm not the only one. Don't you see? He's hurting many other people. Alex shook his head. You don't understand. He has his reasons. Maybe you're only seeing a part of the story. Then tell me the rest. Scarlett shouted, drawing the attention of the surrounding customers. She felt a wave of intensity rush through her, but she couldn't stop. I need the truth, Alex. Not just excuses. Alex was silent for a moment. Then sighed. Okay. But be careful. He's not someone easy to deal with. After the encounter with Alex, Scarlett felt as though she had entered a battle not only with Hunter but also with herself. She decided that it was time to confront him. She couldn't let fear dictate her actions, and she knew that if she didn't act immediately, the truth would forever be buried. The next day, Scarlett found Hunter standing with a group of friends in the schoolyard. He was laughing, but his eyes slid past her with a coldness. She felt as if she were standing before a wild beast. But she couldn't back down. Hunter! Scarlett shouted, drawing every gaze in the courtyard towards her. We need to talk. Hunter turned around, the smile on his lips fading. Scarlett. What's going on? Why make such a fuss? I know what you've done, Scarlett said, her voice resolute but trembling inside. You can't keep deceiving everyone like this. Hunter raised an eyebrow, feigning surprise. Deceiving? What are you talking about? You don't have any evidence at all. Do you think I'll stay silent forever? Scarlett refused to let herself step back. I won't let you continue to manipulate my life and the lives of others. Be careful with what you say, Scarlett, Hunter replied, his tone growing cold. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into. A wave of anxiety surged within Scarlett, but she couldn't let him see it. I will find out the truth. And everyone will know who is really in the wrong. After a tense confrontation with Hunter, Scarlett returned to her room feeling heavy-hearted. She knew she had ignited a larger battle. Not just with Hunter but with those around her. As she entered the room, Vivian was waiting, looking worried. What did you do? Vivian asked, her voice slightly anxious. I heard the shouting from afar. It's just. I faced him, Scarlett replied, sitting down in a chair with an air of exhaustion. But I feel like everyone is on his side. Vivian sighed, unsure whether to comfort or warn her. You know, Hunter has a lot of friends. They won't easily accept that he could be wrong. I don't care about that, Scarlett said firmly. I just need the truth. But are you sure you're ready for what's coming? If he counterattacks, you could end up hurt even more, Vivian warned. Scarlett felt a surge of anxiety. But she couldn't allow herself to hesitate. I won't let him win. I'll find a way to expose the truth, no matter what happens. Scarlett felt as if she was standing on the brink of an inevitable battle. After long days of searching for the truth, she had gathered enough information to piece the puzzle together. She knew that Hunter had not only deceived her but many others as well, and now she was ready to expose the truth. But the price of doing so could be very high. One evening, Scarlett decided to meet a group of students who had been victims of Hunter. She had contacted them via social media, and eventually, they agreed to meet at a bar near the school. She felt nervous but also determined. This was an opportunity for her not only to uncover the truth but also for everyone to stand up against the deceit together. As she entered the bar, the dim lights and loud music overwhelmed her. She looked around and saw a group of people sitting in the corner of the room, all appearing tense. A few of them had once been friends with Hunter. She took a deep breath and approached them. Thank you all for coming, Scarlett began, trying to keep her voice calm. I know this isn't easy, but we need to talk. Are you sure we should be doing this? A girl named Mia asked, her face anxious. Hunter has a lot of friends and he won't hesitate to hurt us. We can't live in fear forever, Scarlett replied, her gaze resolute. If we don't speak out the truth, he will continue to deceive many others. But what if he finds out we're talking about him? A boy named Jake hesitated. We can't let fear dictate our lives, Scarlett said, her voice becoming stronger. We must stand up for ourselves and for others. After a while of discussion, the group decided that they would confront Hunter together. Scarlett felt like a fire was burning within her, and she knew this was the decisive moment. They planned to organize a public meeting where everyone could share their stories about Hunter. The next day, Scarlett received a message from an old friend of Hunter's, a girl named Lily. She had heard about the meeting and wanted to join. Lily had once been Hunter's girlfriend and had secrets that Scarlett felt she needed to know. When Scarlett met Lily, she felt like a breath of fresh air had entered her life. Lily seemed tired but her eyes held a deep pain. I've heard about you, Lily said, her voice trembling. I want to help. Hunter has hurt so many people, and I can't stay silent any longer. Scarlett felt a wave of hope wash over her. Do you know what he did? She asked, her eyes pleading. Yes, Lily sighed. He deceived me, took my money, and then discarded me like an old piece of junk. I hadn't dared to speak up before because of fear. We will stand up together, Scarlett said, determination in her voice. I won't let him get away with it. The day of the public meeting has arrived. Scarlett feels nervous, but her determination is growing stronger. They have attracted a number of students to participate, and the atmosphere in the room becomes tense. Everyone is waiting to hear the stories about Hunter. When Scarlett stands up to speak, she can feel her heart racing. Thank you all for being here today. We all have a common purpose, to expose the truth about Hunter and what he has done. All eyes are on her. I know that many of you have been hurt by him. Today, we will not be silent any longer. We will speak the truth. But just as she finishes her sentence, the door suddenly swings open. And Hunter walks in with a cold expression. What's going on here? He asks, his voice challenging. The room falls silent, everyone looks at each other, unsure of what to do. Scarlett feels a chill run down her spine, but she cannot back down. We are talking about you, Hunter, she says, her voice ringing out strongly. Hunter strides towards her, his gaze threatening. You shouldn't be standing here and saying things you don't know. You're only hurting yourself. I'm not afraid of you anymore, Scarlett replies, feeling stronger than ever. I know you've deceived me, and many others. Today, the truth will be revealed. Hunter scoffs, but his eyes begin to show signs of worry. What do you think you can do? You have no evidence at all. Maybe not, but we will not let you continue to manipulate our lives and the lives of others, Scarlett says, feeling the support from those around her. As the confrontation between Scarlett and Hunter unfolded, the emotions in the room became tense. Everyone held their breath, unsure of what would happen next. Scarlett felt as if everything was happening in slow motion. She knew that this was a decisive moment, not just for herself but for all those who had been harmed by Hunter. Everyone, stand up. A voice rang out from the back. It was Mia, the girl who had been worried earlier. We can't let him continue to deceive. A few others stood up, and the atmosphere in the room began to change. Scarlett felt a strong wave of determination washing over her, and she knew they were fighting together against the deception. You can't do anything to us, another boy shouted. We won't be silent anymore. Hunter looked around, his expression becoming frantic. You don't know what you're doing. You will all regret standing by her. We're not afraid of you anymore. Scarlett shouted, her emotions surging. You've hurt too many people, and today, we won't let you get away. Amidst the chaos, Scarlett felt a difficult decision awaiting her. She could expose the truth about Hunter, but that could lead to unforeseen consequences. She recalled everything he had done, the lies, and the pain he had caused her and others. Are you sure you want to do this? Vivian whispered in her ear, her expression worried. If you expose the truth, you might lose everything. I can't live in fear forever, Scarlett answered. Her gaze resolute. If I don't do this, I won't be able to live with myself. In the end, Scarlett decided that she wouldn't give up. She would stand up for those who had been hurt. Hunter. I have something to say to you, she began, her voice strong and clear. You have deceived not just one but many people. I can't let you continue to hurt others. I will bring the truth to light. No matter the consequences. Hunter became furious, his gaze burning like fire. You have no right to do that. You don't know what you're getting into. Scarlett felt a fear, but also a strong determination. I know exactly what I'm doing. I won't let you manipulate my life anymore. The emotions in the room became more tense than ever. Those around were all on Scarlett's side, and that made Hunter feel threatened. He began to back away, and Scarlett felt like it was time to end this fight. Everyone, listen to me, Scarlett said, her voice ringing out strongly. We have endured enough. Today, we will not let him continue to deceive us. Everyone stood up in unison, and the atmosphere in the room became charged. Hunter felt pressure from all sides, and finally, he turned to leave, but not without leaving a threat. You will regret doing this. Scarlett felt as if a weight had been lifted. She had stood up. Not only for herself, but also for all those who had been harmed by Hunter. She knew that this was just the beginning of a long fight, but today, she had won an important battle. When the meeting concluded, Scarlett felt as if she had stepped out of a storm. She had found the strength within herself, and those around her stood by her side. Although the future still held many uncertainties, she knew she would not be alone in this fight. Scarlett looked around, seeing the eyes filled with empathy and determination. She had not only unveiled the truth, but had also created a strong community where people could support each other. She knew this was just the beginning, but she was ready to face any challenges ahead. We will stand together, Scarlett said to her friends, her voice full of hope. We will not let the deceit continue any longer. And thus, Scarlett's journey was not just a battle against Hunter but also a quest for truth, justice, and inner strength. She was ready to confront any trials, and she knew she would never give up. Time passed, and life at university gradually returned to a normal rhythm, but in Scarlett's heart, everything had changed forever. After the public meeting with Hunter, she felt as though she had crossed an important milestone in her life. The fears and worries were no longer a heavy burden, but instead, there was a newfound confidence and strength. One morning, as the sunlight streamed through the window, Scarlett sat by her desk, looking outside. She remembered all that had happened over the past few months, the confrontations, the tears, and the smiles. She had learned that life is not just about what happens to us, but also about how we react to those things. "What are you thinking about?" Vivian asked, entering the room with a cup of hot coffee. "You look very thoughtful." "I'm just thinking about what has passed," Scarlett replied, a gentle smile appearing on her lips. "I feel like I've grown a lot." Vivian sat down beside her, her eyes full of concern. "I see that you've changed. You've become much stronger." "Thank you," Scarlett said, her heart filled with gratitude. "I've learned that sometimes, to move forward, we need to face the hardest things." A week later, Scarlett decided to meet Hunter one last time. She had struggled with this decision, but she knew that to completely free herself from the burdens of the past, she needed to talk to him. Not to wage war, but to seek forgiveness not just for him but also for herself. When she arrived at the cafe where they had once met, her heart was pounding. Hunter was sitting in the corner of the room, his expression as cold as ever. But this time, there was something different in his eyes. It could be fatigue, or perhaps remorse. "Scarlett," he said, his voice slightly surprised. "What are you doing here?" "I just want to talk," she began, her emotions surging. "I don't want to keep living in resentment. I need to find a way to forgive." Hunter looked at her, his expression unreadable. "Forgive? Do you think I deserve that?" "It's not about deserving or not," Scarlett replied, her voice gentle. "It's about me not wanting the past to affect my future. I've suffered enough, and I don't want to live in hatred." He was silent for a moment, then finally sighed. "I know I hurt you. I can't change the past, but I'm very sorry." "Thank you for saying that," Scarlett said, her heart feeling lighter. "I don't need you to apologize, but I need to know that you understand what I've been through." The conversation continued, and gradually, the walls that both had built around themselves began to crumble. They shared deep emotions, the pain, and the lessons they had learned from each other. Scarlett felt as though a part of her had been healed. "Perhaps we all make mistakes," Hunter said, his gaze becoming more sincere. "But what matters is that we learn from them and become better people." "That's right," Scarlett agreed. "I can't change what happened, but I can change how I react to it." As the conversation came to an end, Scarlett felt as though a burden had been lifted. She no longer felt resentment or anger. Instead, she felt her heart overflowing with forgiveness and love. She had learned that forgiveness is not just a gift for others, but also a gift for herself. Scarlett left the cafe, feeling as if she had just stepped out of a storm. She had not only found forgiveness for Hunter, but also for herself. She knew that life would continue with its challenges and difficulties, but she was ready to face everything. As she stepped outside, the warm sunlight shone on her face, and she felt as though she had found a new direction. She was no longer the weak girl she once was, but a strong, confident, and determined woman. "Thank you, life, for the lessons," Scarlett whispered to herself, a smile blossoming on her lips. "I will never give up." She knew that the road ahead would not be easy, but she was prepared. She would continue her journey, carrying with her the valuable lessons about love, forgiveness, and inner strength. And so, Scarlett's story did not just end here. It opened a new chapter, where she would continue to explore the wonderful things life had to offer. She would not only live for herself but also for those around her, to create a better world. Because in the end, life is not just about what we go through, but also about how we choose to live, love, and forgive.